What's up, guys? It's Mr. Frosty here, aka the People's Professor, and class is now in session.
Mr. Frosty.
How do y'all like that? Yeah? New thing going. I mean, I'm in a new space now. We have a new studio to work with, new angle that we're gonna be getting my face from, so you guys don't see my personal business. Yeah, so I mean, and I like to think that I'm teaching people things, or at least giving people like tips and tidbits and stuff. Oh my gosh, nobody told me about my collar. Right? Yeah, no. People's Professor, I think that works. I don't know. Anyways, let's not ramble on. Today, we're going to get into the breakdown of my remix to Andrew Huang's Oblivion. First beat I made in this new studio. I didn't think I was going to rap on there, but I ended up having to rap. I ended up talking about... We'll talk about that more in the song. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you haven't heard my version or my remix yet, go ahead and go down to the description section. There should be a link down there. It'll say Take Me Away, Oblivion Remix, something along those lines. Right click on that link, click open a new tab, then pause this video, go listen to the song, and then come back. Because there's no point in you watching this breakdown if you don't know what the song sounds like. It's a lot, so it's going to be a long talk here. Anyways, after you've done that, hey, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get into this breakdown now. So, I'm trying a different approach with the breakdown here. Usually, I just kind of open the session and talk my way through it, which is great and all, but I would like to save some time this time around, being as Andrew may or may not use it as footage on the whole 4 producers sample style thing to remix his song Oblivion. If you haven't heard that, also, you can go down in the description, the right click, like I said before, put on Oblivion. Yeah, good song. So I organized my session to have notes in here where we can explore deeper into the things that I felt like were more important. Yes, I did some pre-planning here. So yeah. So the first section, Eye of the Storm, is what I called it. It's the intro section. It's nice, beautiful, floaty, has wonderful, like, just sounds that all go together. They were all anchored around the transition Oz that Andrew had in the original Oblivion song. So I just kind of chopped them, arranged them how I wanted to give it a sort of feel of of just something like, eerie. Because originally this was the second part I made, and I wanted it to be a transition type of sound, but ended up being the intro and outro, which I'm okay with. Some other random tidbits here. Let's see, it says, these instruments were just from the Ice Pack Volume 2. And then I also used the Addictive Keys, the Mark I stage piano. This has been my favorite EP now. Just, oh my gosh. I love the sound of it out of the box. It's so great. So that's the intro. Sorry I didn't play too much of it to let y'all hear it through, but I really don't think you guys need all that. Go listen to the... Oh, we could talk about the Island Plugs. Basically, here on the plugs, I just had a little filter sound. And really, it's just to match the style and the vibe that I like to have of something like really growing into a sound more than just getting hit with all the sound at once. So that's the Eye of the Storm. Wasn't nothing too crazy. That was our first section there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The TikTok transition. So that one wasn't... That's also a really short one to talk about too. The TikTok transition actually just came about because once I decided that was going to be the intro, I needed something to connect it over to the next part, which has a whole tempo change and everything. So we moved from a tempo of 125 to 150, and I did that with a simple automation, but I made that feel a little bit nicer to the user instead of more abrupt by adding this TikTok, and then having that in there as the tempo changed. You can see it doing it down here, so that by the time we got to the next part, it felt a little bit more what's the word? Comfortable and not just random. Some other cool things that I used in here. the reversed I've. So from the I've been waiting section, I took the I, chopped it by itself, threw a whole bunch of reverb on it. This is a technique everybody uses. Did some reverse reverb so that we could have sort of a transition build into the I there. So basically, I just automated the filter here to start, from a really low frequency and come up to a higher frequency, and then I just did automation on the dry wet there, making the verb a little bit bigger as the sound got bigger. So let's move into the first really big section here. The tribal chant section is what I called it, where we get into the TikTok turns into an actual percussion loop, right? But that percussion loop just came from Andrew Huang's the percussion track, the Oblivion percussion track. So yeah, started off with that. I kind of dug a little deep in there. The I've been waiting. Oh yeah, it's just a Vox sample in the beginning. And when we get into the verse parts, I kind of play with the pitching. But as I also added a filter on here to make room for the vocals of the rapping that I did. So yeah, so that was a part of the sample there. The bass that I use in the first part, that kind of climbs up, that doopa doop doop doopa doop doop, this right here. So that I actually took a sample from the Oblivion bass, threw it in this grain sampler, grain sample manipulator, one of my favorite Reason tools, and just tweaked it a little bit until it had a kind of lighter sound there. Sorry guys, basically I'm trying to go over the stuff that was actually samples, so we can also save time on that too, because if I talk about everything, we'll be here all day. The tom fill percussion was actually one of my favorite things that I did get. I just think it already sounded so clean. Did a lot of EQing and adding some reverb and stuff to make it fit more of the sound that is going on here in this tribal chant section. There's a lot of drums here that were also from the sample. So that kick came from the Oblivion sample. Nice. The snare, apparently. The rim shot. And then the cowbell. And the drum fill that you hear there. Oh, and then of course the tickety-tick. Yeah, so that's all of the percussion that's involved that came from the Oblivion sample. Pretty nice stuff, yeah. Most of this section ended up just being drum and bass, with the I've Been Waiting sample kind of stacked on top of it. But everything was anchored in that lead vocal there. So, what do we got next? Oh, just the verse. I mean, there's a TLDR here. I don't know if I'll read this to you guys. Oops, I didn't mean to kick the mic like that. I'll read this to you guys. I originally wasn't gonna verse it. I wasn't originally planning on writing a verse. We just moved into a new apartment and I was not excited to set up the mic booth area. But after some deliberation and a much needed push from my wife, I decided I wouldn't be putting my best foot forward if I did not rap. I guess deep down I also didn't want to disappoint the Bad Snacks Discord community. They like when I rap. So yeah, there's my TLDR there. Let's move on to the next section. Alright, let's talk about First Look. First Look is called the First Look section because this is the first thing that came out of me when I heard the Oblivion song was getting a remix challenge. It's really cute. Let's talk about the stuff in this riser area first, because like this actually is probably, in my personal opinion, my favorite part about this. Yeah. Yeah, so I actually wanna talk about this one specifically, the Vox counterpoint. So this was the main anchor when I was building this transition. Basically, this is the part where Andrew is singing and he does the counterpoint vocals. I reversed it and added a bunch of effects, but like it's just this is it reversed. That was the original, and then of course with all of my extraness on it. It's got a ring mod on there, another a psych like frequency modulator on there. Like yeah, so that was that part, and then I just stole the textures from his texture track. I just really just chopped out a little part, nothing serious. And the same for the impacts, swells, and risers. I just stole a section. But it built this beautiful intro here. And then let's see, what's next on the list? For this section here, it ended up being a nice, beautiful techno vibe. But it all hinged off of this lead arc that I stole from Andrew's sample. And man, and I think what he was saying, like this was all randomized actually. Which just makes it all the better song. But that's kind of what everything hinged on. Oh, there's an icy nugget here. Oh, look, there's a thing that I want to expound upon somewhere in here. And it's on the Take Me Away Vox. Let's see what's going on. Wow, look at all of this extraness that I did on here. Oh gosh, oh here it is. I wanted a reverb that reacted to the volume of Andrew's vocal track. I thought I could get it with a little CV routing, but alas, the RV7000 Reason, your reverb that we all love and use, did not have a CV for the dry, wet knob. This was quite the conundrum. Have no fear, the combinator is here, and this is why Reason doesn't care. And so it was. I threw the RV7000 into the combinator, assigned the dry, wet knob, here we go, assigned the dry, wet knob to the CV1 output, and bam, we routed the gain reduction CV out to, so that was the gain reduction from the compressor here, CV out to the combinator CV1, which was right here. And now, by doing that, we get the audio controlling the dry wet knob. Wow, what a ride. Let's move on to the next part. Anchor, arc layer. This is just this part right here. I call it arpeggiate. But this was just to complement the, so that it fit the chord progression that I chose to go with, which the chord progression came from the synth sample that I also got from Andrew Huang's whatchamacallit. So yeah, basically all of those just reverse in every time. So it adds to the punchiness that's already on this section. Of course, the kick was sidechained to everything to make sure we have that punch. And the cowbell groove. This time, the cowbell is the only percussion derived from the Oblivion samples. Mostly everything else comes from the Ice Pack Volume 2. Which there's also a link to in the description below. That one you don't even have to pause the YouTube video. You could just right click and open a new tab. Nice, I did that for you. Go check it out. Added a tambourine in here to give more techno vibe, blah blah blah. And let's move on to the section we all actually truly care about, which is the experimental EDM section. This part was called Last Look because obviously it was the last part of the song. I already knew this was going to be the end of the song while I was making the song, blah, 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 blah. So, first note we have here is filter automation everywhere. So basically, not to read all of this, each filter or saw pad that I have in here has two filters. It has the main filter, which controls the overall frequency level that I want it to be at. And then it has what I call the wobble filter, which basically is what I'm taking from 0 to 100 real quick, and giving it that wobble sound. So pretty much every every saw layer, and even the synth solo part from Andrew's Oblivion track, that also has the frequency automation on there. Let's see, Andrew's lead. Yeah, I added some bit crush to it, so it sounds a little bit more in tune with what's going on in this section. But even oh gosh, that's so loud. It's so beautifully loud. So even the bit crush was automated, just to give it, give the EDM movement here. And you can see, if we look at all the filter automations for each track, it's pretty wild in there. I went in and manually did the wobbles. I was gonna not manually do them at first, by using the pulsar view, but as you can see down here, my delay comp is at 5,750. So even though it was doing the job, I was hearing it later than I wanted to hear it. So I just decided to go ahead and do my own. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. All right, what else do we have in here? The 4-minute shift. Because that just took the really high pitched away part from Andrew's original. Didn't really touch that. But I didn't want to pitch these up, so I ended up 4-minute shifting them up. So it actually came out really nice. I like how it came out. It made me happy. Let's see what else we got here. Based for this. Oh, the bass instrument that you hear in this song was actually sound designed for this part specifically. Yeah. I used the little LFO to make this bass. Such a great free tool. If you're a Reason user and you don't have the little LFO in your arsenal, go get it. Go get it and just play around with it. It'll teach you so much about waveforms. Maybe I'll use this as my teaching tool for waveforms. Who knows? All right, moving on. No Oblivion drums. So so on this last section, I didn't use any of any samples for the drums that were related to Oblivion. All of the drum samples that I used came from the Ice Pack Volume 2. Once again, down in the description below, you can just right click, open a new tab. Maybe you'll get it for free. Who knows? It depends on how generous I'm feeling when you watch this video. Alright, I think that's all that there's left to talk about. I did my best to not play too much of any of the song because I just want y'all to go listen to it. But quick breakdown. Let me know if that breakdown was good for y'all, if it felt nice. If it was faster, slower, who knows. Andrew, if you've already heard the song, I hope you loved it. I really have been a fan of your channel for a long time now. You inspired me to take not only my YouTube more seriously, but to take my exploration and love for music more seriously. So big shout outs to you for that. Hopefully I can give back to people in the same way that you've given to me. Yeah, shout out to the Bad Snacks community. I've been spending a lot of time doing beat battles in the Bad Snacks Discord, and let me tell you, I would not have been able to put together what I put together for Andrew Huang if I had not been doing beat battles with the Discord. So big thanks to them, giving a big shout outs to them. I found Bad Snacks from a 4 producers 1 sample flip with Andrew Huang anyways. So look, full circling, there we go. Bad Snacks helped me prepare for my chance. But alright, that's all I got for you guys this time around. Tell me what you think about the new personal space kind of thing here. You know, us being able to talk to each other, sitting right next to each other. Let me know what you think about the song in the comments below. Like, you don't have to share. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when all of my videos drop. Thanks so much for hanging out with your boy, Mr. Frosty. Dang it, I did 5 again. AKA the People's Professor. I'll see you next time.
Hey, I've been waiting for a chance to be giving presentations of a masterpiece. Lately, I be eating with a snack, be chef and prepping. That was finally.